and welcome back to Lit Laugh Lounge. I don't know whose water bottle this is. Welcome to chapters. What?
That's Tori's face. She goes, oh. I'm sorry.
Welcome to chapters
29 to 35.
Yeah, what she said. Yeah, Fallon, talk your shit.
Take it away. I'm doing the summary this time. I haven't done that in a while. Okay. So we start off. Farrah's back home because of course she is, because Tamlin sent her home, if you recall. And then her dad's throwing her this ball. And like Nesta apparently the entire time has not been glamored the entire time, so she's just been faking it. And then Farrah's like, oh my god. And then like she tried to go after Farrah, and then she like realized some like sisterly things or whatever. And she does care about her, but like she just hides it underneath like the bitch exterior.
I love a bitch exterior. My favorite characters.
And then so like then the ball happens, and like Farrah decides because she's a good person, she's gonna give money to the poor. And then like the next day, her dad and Elaine bring the feathers, and she rushes, and then she's like has to go back to wait, what?
She's listening to you. He brings up the feathers and how their house fucking burnt to the ground, and she's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, and
then,
like that's suspicious. That's weird.
Extremely.
And then she meets Alice at the torn apart manor, and basically an info dump happens, and it's like, so Amaranth, like the evil person that everyone's afraid of, she's like the high queen of the whole, what is it, Prithia, yeah. And then like she hates humans because her sister fell in love with a human, but the human was actually evil and betrayed her.
Jarian.
Like any
crazy little man.
Like any frat boy. And then like apparently he's like in the necklace now. And then like
and the ring.
Yeah, and then like she takes a piece of all the High Lord's powers. Apparently she took a piece of every single High Lord's powers and like left them all with like their like base powers or whatever, so that they're not powerful. And she now keeps them like under the mountain, which we were discussing. That mountain must be huge,
very large mountain,
very large.
And
there's
then like
multiple courts trapped under there.
And apparently she gouged out Lucian's eye, which made me gag because she like actually like went like,
shoveled it on out with an acrylic. She went.
With an acrylic is gross. She's obsessed. She's obsessed with Tamlin for some reason. I don't know why.
Really weird.
He's blonde. I don't know why
he
anyone
has
would
no
be
personality. Either.
He has a mask, and that's his entire personality.
He's got muscles, I guess.
Me and my muddles.
And apparently he has a thing for biting people, but it's okay.
Yeah, you know what?
And but like she cursed him because like he rejected her, which like self-respect.
But honestly, girl boss status.
And then like that's
There's
why
a really interesting theory going around on TikTok right now that it's like Amarantha was Tamlin's mate, and then he rejected the mating bond.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really believe it.
I don't either.
That would be so much better than what Sarah intended, probably.
Yeah. I don't know. Never know how the waves of Sarah work.
Really. And then like that's why they have to wear a mask, and like now he has to like fall in love with the human in order to. It's like the Beauty and the Beast curse. He has to fall in love with the human to break that curse. And yeah, and then like basically like Farrah doomed him by like not telling him. So you remember that chapter where she was like, I was gonna tell him I love him, but I decided not to. Yeah, she actually effed him over with that. Oops.
The entire of Prithia.
Yeah, all of it. She doomed everybody because like if she had just gotten over her issues like she was supposed to, like she had 28 chapters to do.
Everything would be fine.
Everything would be fine.
We wouldn't need any more books. Already knew in her head she loved Tamlin.
She just couldn't
and she was just like,
it.
I just can't say it right now. Okay, girl. Well, you had 3 days.
Cat got you tongue, girl.
Yeah. And so then she's like, fuck. And then so she's like, I'm gonna go under the mountain, which seems really dumb, and it kind of is dumb.
She literally says she's like, I'm gonna die. Like there is literally like a 0 chance I'm gonna survive this.
And like obviously immediately like she's found by the Adder because of course she is.
Yeah.
And then she like gets in there, and then like she finds Claire, and Claire's there, and you know Claire's the name that she gave to like what's the dark-haired Reese. Him. Sorry, I like don't like him either. Rhysand or whatever. I know I said Rhysand the other day.
I know. I corrected you.
I know.
I also said Rhysand for like the entire time.
I know, but like I feel shamed because like we've been on this podcast and we've been saying Rhysand like consistently.
Yeah,
okay.
But it's okay. Like when I first read it, I was like, okay, Rhysand. But then she abbreviated it to Reese, and I was like, okay, well, Rice doesn't make any fucking sense. It has to be
still
Rhysand.
Rice to me.
No, I never once called him Rice. I was like, I will not.
Anyway, Amaranth like makes a deal with her where she's like, it's what does she basically say? She's like, can you like have to like what is it? Do a trial every day or
it's like, she's like, do 3 trials.
Do 3 trials
and then you're free.
And then you're free. If you survive them, that's
She said Tamlin and all of the Spring Court were free.
yeah.
And the curse is broken, so we get all his powers
Which,
back.
by the way, she said fuck every other court. By the way, because every other court's also stuck there.
She like literally went over that over and over in her head. She's like, okay, let me make sure that this is what I want. Like she was like considering every aspect of it, and specifically was like, okay, me and the Spring Court.
Yeah.
And I was
did
like,
not give a fuck.
I was like, you did not care about any other court. Which, okay, girl. She said, I'm gonna be queen of one court and one court only.
One court only.
And I don't care about the rest. Okay, I can respect that. And then like, Yada beats her up, and Farrah goes to the dungeon.
Like horribly beats her up.
Fuck
Beat the shit out of
She
her.
is so done. And then like, Lucian heals her.
He sneaks in. He goes,
Okay.
Oh, your nose. Oh, that was disgusting. When he set her nose.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh.
Because then he said, he's like, I can't heal you up too much because then they'll know that I healed you. So like, you still have to stay like bruised up.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with
And
him.
Haley and I were talking about this, and like we always forget how like Sarah has such a like grotesque way of describing like pain and torture, and like it just makes
She
your
has a way
whole
with
body.
words.
Yeah, she just makes your whole body like
Oh, my nose.
yeah. So
And then like she's brought outside, and Amarantha like tells her the riddle that like will free. Like so, she has one chance to get out of the trial, and I think it's like if you answer the riddle,
correctly.
then you're immediately free to go.
And she's
And she gives
specifically
her the
also
riddle.
being just the Spring Court and Tamlin.
And I'm going to read the riddle. She says,
Girl.
"There,
Goose.
Girl.
goose." No, it's okay.
Go on, go to Tori. Go to Tori.
So she goes, there are those who seek me at lifetime, but that will never be me, and those I kiss but who trample me beneath ungrateful feet. At times I seem to favor the clever and the fair, but I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. By large, my ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned have become a difficult beast to defeat. For though each of my strikes land a powerful blow, when I kill I do it slow. I personally think that answer to the riddle is extremely easy, but I refuse to say it because I don't want to be wrong and then eat my words next episode. That would be so embarrassing.
Very funny.
Can you imagine I say it with my full chest and then immediately next episode I'm like, so about that. Remember when I trashed the riddle? Anyways,
It is a stupid riddle though. It's definitely like not well done.
I wouldn't have got it. I'm just gonna let us all know that I would not have got
I
it.
wouldn't have either. I would have been sitting in there being like, well, I guess I need to target to do all these trials now.
and then it's the day after trial.
So let's talk, girlies.
That one specifically, what are your thoughts?
I have beef with every single character here except Nesta.
So Nesta,
I have beef with every single character in this book except Nesta.
her not being able to be glamored is so.
So Nesta.
It's so Nesta.
Well, she's
like
yeah.
she's just like she has so much spite that she just can't be glamored, and I love that.
And I'm obsessed with her.
That's kind of what I'm going from. I'm like, oh, she's so like sure in her rage that she just can't.
Mhm.
I also think it's really interesting how she like admitted to Farrah that she like cares about her enough
Yeah.
to go to the wall, try to go into Perithian to save and rescue Farrah. Because even though she might like, she mentions to Farrah that she like resents her because that she was the only one that actually got up to do anything to save the family, but she resents her father more. But she just thought it wasn't right, like her just disappearing, being taken to Perithian, which is I think it shows like a strong moral code
Oh, yeah.
for Nesta.
And everyone hates Nesta. I want you to know
Everyone.
this.
Oh well,
They-
I don't. She's a queen.
Like
I love
people
her.
read her book and still hate her.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's like, and this whole part where she goes to the wall is completely glossed over.
literally.
No one talks about it. I forgot about it until I
For
read
real?
this.
See,
Yeah.
she kind of. You might know this. She kind of reminds me of Catherine Pierce.
Who?
Catherine from the Vampire Diaries.
Oh,
Low key.
no.
Low
She's
key?
not narcissistic.
No, not like that, but like the whole like bitchy personality because she's been hardened, and then by the end of it, like she's like
Still not Catherine Pierce though.
she's giving me Catherine right now, like
I
a
don't
nicer
know
version
who
of
that
Catherine.
is.
Basically, she's like the main girl's like doppelganger that was really evil.
She's a bitch.
Don't tell
That's all
me.
you need to know. But
I
like,
don't need to know.
but
but
like,
like
I don't know, because Nesta doesn't really do things for herself. She does things for other people, and that's what sets her
and
apart.
she's just a bitch.
She's so kind.
I
But yet
kind of
so
really
terrible.
love her though.
She's
I like her more than I like Farrah.
She has no filter, and she does not give a fuck. But the people she does care for, she will like die for them.
Mm-hmm.
See,
So I mean,
so I can't hate her for anything.
mhm.
Right now, Farrah bothers me. She annoys me right now. No offense.
I think Feyre is a very strong personality in the way that she's just kind of dumb, but also remember she's 19.
And she didn't have a formal education.
Yes, this I'm aware. Not that I don't hate. I don't think she's dumb. Actually, I think she's like a pretty smart person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never. When I say she's dumb, as in she makes dumb decisions, I'm like, I can see where you're coming from though. Like I get why you made the decision.
It feels very 19-year-old.
Yeah, it feels very like 19. I'm pretty sure that if I'm like, oh my god, an entire people have been captured because of me because I didn't say one thing, I'm gonna try and show up and declare.
Yeah.
Even if it's after the fact.
I'm gonna try and fix it.
I'm gonna try and fix it. I get it. I just don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel kind of bad, but like I don't like her.
She girl bosses a little bit more
In the second book.
Well, in this book too. Like in the next couple chapters.
That's true.
She girl bosses hardcore.
She has like her funny little moments.
Because right now she just feels carried by the plot, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. I like it when characters influence the plot rather than letting themselves kind of be carried by the plot.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, it's just feel like she's been carried
To be
by the
fair,
plot.
she is a human in a world with outrageous amount of power, and like where humans are just meant to like die as soon as they get there. So there's not much that she can do.
Well, I also just think it's the nature of how Sarah wrote it.
Yeah.
Because it's fate is
Yeah.
how she wrote it.
Mhm.
So I think like just because of what how she wrote this book, she kind of strips Feyre of a lot of her individualism and her agency.
There we go. Yeah, I think that like once she starts like taking more like of an active role, even if it's just in the next 2 chapters, I'll be like, okay, at least you're doing something to like when she like went to like Prithia, I was like, oh well, that's dumb, but at least you're doing something.
Yeah.
You could have just stayed. I would have stayed.
Mhm.
I've been like, F everyone. He's blonde. I don't care enough
Yeah.
about him to go.
She like in the second half, like starting in these couple of chapters, she really like amps up like her personality and her agency, I feel like. And the mercenary came back. I forgot about
We were
that.
like, you'll never see her again.
You'll never see her again. I was like, she came back.
I fully did not think she came back. Like, let it be known, I had no
We
idea.
completely forgot about that scene with Nesta.
Well, that's kind of sucks though, because like Nesta's like, I really like her. I don't think I've like.
She eats.
I don't know. She kind of eats. Maybe it's because she's the kind of heroine a lot of people write nowadays.
Mhm.
Like the very bitchy, but like extremely fiercely protective over their family. Like that's like
Yeah.
an archetype that's like written a lot now,
Mhm.
but it wasn't written a lot like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Although this book is more recent, isn't it?
2015.
That's
So it's
10
still-
years. Yeah.
Yeah. It still has that like YA, like kind of, she's not like the badass protagonist yet. She does get a little bit more
has to
badass.
like get there.
Yeah, but like Nesta feels like it's a more modern protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to the point where like I'm not annoyed. I just like expect her to be there because every YA book now has like that badass bitchy protagonist.
Yeah.
Who like is fiercely loyal.
Did you see the thing that someone on TikTok did it, but it was like how Divergent and like the author who wrote Divergent like started the like death of like actual characters with depth behind them
Mhm.
and like a story and like the whole thing, and I was like,
Veronica
Roth. Yeah.
yeah.
My best friend likes Divergent more than anything. Love her so much. It's her biggest red flag. It is her biggest red
The
flag.
first
I've
book
never
is
read it.
actually pretty decent, but like
See-
after that, it just goes so bad.
It not only does it go bad, we're like talking about the wrong series, but it does feel like a rip off of Hunger Games
Yeah.
and Twilight, and
Yeah.
I don't like it that much.
I didn't read it.
You know, yeah, save yourself that pain, because when you get to the end,
It's not good. I know how it ends.
Waste of time.
Then you wanted to talk about how her dad was like chilling,
Yeah.
hella chilling.
Yeah, so like I thought it was interesting how like her dad could not do anything to save their family, but like she had mentioned to Tamlin that her dad used to be called the Prince of Merchants, and like he must have been someone. They had that much
Mhm.
money; they were considered like noble. And then as soon as he gets money back, and as soon as his leg is healed, he is brighter than
Popping
ever.
his pussy.
He's got clear head. He is back in the game, making them triple the amount of money that they were even like, given.
Mhm.
And he seems like smart and like an intelligent person. and like it's just so strange. 'Cause, like he just could not get off of his ass whenever they were dying.
I hate him so much.
He's not great. And like the idea, it's so weird because like then you sit there and you're like, okay, so why didn't he take a portion of what Pharaoh was earning and invest that? And then it's like he just literally wouldn't. And then you're like, I see where Nestor was coming from.
So like the idea is that like he's just like useless unless he has money to fall back on.
Yeah.
So he can't make it from nothing. He could make it if it already exists, but he can't make it from nothing, which just means he's not a risk taker to me.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
So incredibly dumb. The next thing I had like written down was, so I forgot all of the Amarantha lore. All of it. I didn't know she was High Queen.
Girl,
who was gonna tell? I forgot.
Girl, what?
I thought she was just chilling under the mountain and like popping her pussy. That's what I thought it was. I thought she was like having a grand old time. I did not know she was High Queen.
I wouldn't. That's crazy.
I completely forgot. I thought she was just literally just like
her pussy.
Yeah, I thought she was just like very powerful and was like, I hadn't realized she like had declared herself status for whatever reason. And then the whole Cynthia?
Oh, I think,
Clythia.
yeah,
Clythia.
I'm
Endurian story is so weird because I also forgot about that. Like I was like, Jurian's just in her ring and that's how it's always been. I did not realize there was a reason he was in there.
I mean, that storyline.
It's kind of weird because like
very odd to me.
Yeah, because Clythia she mentions is like another like of the ambassadors or whatever for Hybern. Or what is it called? Generals? Yeah, like a general for Hybern.
Emissary? Is that what you're thinking of?
I think maybe. I don't know. But she has like armies she rules like against the humans. Like she is on the opposite side. So the fact that she's head over heels over Jurian is so weird. Because I'm like, I know he's like seducing her and whatever, and he's playing the part, but like, how are you head over heels over someone? How does your sister trying to convince you and you still won't listen? Like I thought it was very weird that she's just like killing humans, but then she's like, why are you gonna like I don't know.
I mean, at some point someone has to like do that, you know?
It's just I don't know what it was about this. I think I wrote it down.
It's just I literally forgot it existed.
Well, like, see, that scares me for the rest of the series because the first book is supposed to like foreshadow a bunch of things.
I read the series 6 years ago.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
I don't remember anything. I remember like 2 scenes from the next book.
Yeah, I read this book 4 years ago. So
damn,
that's why I'm like, whoa, wow, that's crazy how that happened.
I don't know if I don't mind the story because I've seen justifications for villains a lot worse than this one. This one's like, I hate humans because one like manipulated my sister, and I'm like, valid, fair enough, I guess.
No, literally, and like the whole thing, because people are like chill with Jurian, right? Like he doesn't really like stir up nothing in the fandom. He butchered this lady, butchered her, which is again, he had his reasons.
Didn't he say like crucified too? It was like
crucified her with ashwood so she could not move, and then butchered her. Crazy. I understand there were reasons, however,
that seems
crazy.
Especially because
I'm bleeping this out because Alana said a spoiler. She's so mean. Ah.
And so, oopsies, my bad.
I'm bleeping that out.
But anyways,
I know
don't talk about it.
Never
I know
mind.
that now.
My bad. 19 minutes.
That's so funny.
My bad.
You're like just a long extended beep.
Yeah.
No, it's like it was fine. I think that was like a decent explanation. I was like, yeah, okay. The curse thing makes no sense to me.
What about it doesn't make sense?
I don't know. The reasoning behind it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I get she's in love with Tamlin, like obsessed with Tamlin or whatever. I understand why she wanted to, but the human of it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Well, it's because he insults her and he goes, I would rather lay with a human than lay with you. I'd rather marry a human than be with you. And then he goes, and your sister also would have rather doing that. And then she died. So loser!
Can you talk about the fact that he literally sent a person out every single day to get murdered?
That's always like, I was like, that's such a crazy thought. This man had like an army, and every day he sent out them to die. And I was like,
but remember, he's very upset about it because he stops halfway through. He doesn't want to. And remember, he's in charge of a country.
Well, yes, but he still did it for like a good chunk of time.
Yeah, but like, what would you do?
Wait, I don't know.
But how is she gonna kill a fairy if no one's?
Well, like
It's not fate. Like it's not like he has to initiate it.
Mhm.
And so what is he gonna do? Like what would you do?
I don't know that.
I'd be sending people over there. If the entirety of my court is hinged on the fact that this bitch kills a fairy, what are you gonna do? Logistically. Logically.
I don't know, but that was crazy. I was like, oh wow, that is.
Because like literally, what else do you do?
I mean, I guess that was the point to like, force his hand.
Yeah,
but,
you
like,
sit there and you wait for time to run out, and then you're a sex slave for the rest of your life,
which that's bad.
and your entire court is stuck under a mountain. So
Indefinitely, like man, you're getting pale under there.
no, vitamin C is gone.
that mountain.
Scurvy.
See, I don't even know what I'm imagining that mountain to look like.
I have fan art. I just said my phone is currently. Don't look it up.
Isn't it on TikTok?
No, I haven't posted it yet. I'll show you after. I have fan art. But it's such spoilers. Everything is spoilers. This fandom has an awful problem with AI generated art. Every single thing I could find was AI generated, so I had to search. I had to look up artists. Shout out to those artists. I put them on my TikTok. Love you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And like also the fandom, the entire like you cannot look up specific fan art without seeing spoilers. Like it is so
oversaturated.
Like,
you know, I was talking to my best friend about it, and she was like, "How did you avoid Acotar spoilers for so many years?" And I was like, "I don't think I did. I think I did see a lot of like fan art. I just don't understand the fan art, and I didn't care enough about Acotar to look into the fan art. And so the ending is just I don't know anything.
That's something similar that happened to me with Throne of Glass, because there's something that happens in there, but like. And I saw it all the time. I just didn't put it together.
I was like, I didn't really care. All the sisters look the same to me, even if they don't look the same. Now I can probably tell the difference if you like put up a fan art. Actually, I don't think I still could. I think they're like all.
I think you could. It's pretty easy.
But the colors is what tells them apart. If they're in pink, it's Elaine. If they're in black, it's a toss up.
If they're in dark blue, it's probably Nesta.
Yeah,
I like Nesta.
It's a toss up.
What's her book?
It's the last one that just came out.
Are you kidding me?
It's A Court of Silver Flames.
You're kidding me.
It's because this is a trilogy, and that's a spinoff. And then she has like the novella in between the trilogy and the spinoff. And the novella is a Christmas special. It is literally a Christmas special, and it's teeny tiny, and I hate
awful.
it. Oh my god, I hate it so much.
But no worries, because the next book that we're gonna read is the best book in the entire series. It's amazing.
She says that, and I can't remember any of it.
Okay, well, I also reread it, so
We're gonna see. I'm still not 100% sure about this book. It's fun.
It's reality TV.
Fun
trash.
read. Fun read though. Okay.
The curse is just what we were talking about.
Oh. Okay.
I'm still wondering, what would you guys do?
For
You're
what?
not sending your man out to die.
I don't know if I'd send out my man to die. I don't know what I would do in that case, but I don't know if I'd send one out every. Maybe I'd send out like. I don't want to send out groups to them because then that's.
I feel like there was another way you could have like manipulated it though, to where like you go to the human towns and you try to get like
volunteer.
Not volunteers necessarily.
I volunteer tribute. Honestly, one of the children of the blessed would be so fucking down.
Yeah, but she doesn't hate the Fae.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah.
So,
the whole thing about it is like they had to trick a girl who hates the Fae to be brave enough to kill one of them. I'm just saying, he had his hands tied up. And Claire.
Oh,
Claire. Just pinned to the fucking roof.
She
like a butterfly.
She
She literally
given a
just
different
stays
name.
up there, like
Lindsay Lohan would have been a fine name.
Lindsay.
Any other name. Lena Starkov. Give her like a random name. Instead, she decided to give the name of a girl that actually exists.
Yeah.
Also, I hate Rhysand. Did I say that already?
He's something.
He bothers me.
Yeah.
Arrogant.
He's not particularly the cleanest of characters, if you will.
Oh, didn't he like kill her family? We talked about this.
What, Claire's?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
it was most likely
It was
him.
Most likely him.
Or the Ator.
Her little minions.
Yeah.
The one.
So, someone's house went up in flames because but again, I cannot really blame her because she did like do it off the spot, and this man did have the ability to reach into her mind and go clack, 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 clack.
I don't really blame her either. Again, this is not one of those things where I'm like, oh, she's being dumb. Was probably like you'd probably give off a name just so it doesn't
Fallon.
just so it doesn't look like you're lying. Easier because to like say like because what you know in those movies at Disney Channel movies they're like what's your name and they're like Brooke and they look at the street and they're like Cove and you're like okay well that's so obvious that you're lying.
Fake.
But if you're like stuttering because you're nervous and then you go like Alana and then they're like oh your name's Alana.
You really just killed my whole family.
She killed mine.
I lived. But survived.
Oh
You already talked about the riddle. What do you think the trials are gonna be?
yeah, I want to know what you think.
I don't know.
Like, cause there's 3 of them, and I can only remember 2.
See, okay,
I remember 3 of them.
I remember there's a 3rd one, and I remember vaguely what happened.
They said if you live, and I was like, there's 2 ways it could go. It could be like ridiculous trials, like you know, Avatar: The Last Airbender trials with Boomy.
Yeah.
It could be those kind of trials where it's like dumb, or it could but like hard, or it could be like
They're
fight a dragon right now, and it's like oh okay.
honestly like it's somewhere in the middle.
Because I was like, it could be really dumb, or it could be really, really dangerous.
One of them is incredibly stupid, and then the other one's kind of cool.
It's so funny.
I don't know why, but I feel like she's gonna talk to like a mystical thing that she shouldn't be talking to. You know what I'm saying?
Talk?
Like the surreal all over again?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know why I think it, but I'm like I imagine them being like try and survive a conversation with how Aang. I'm so sorry. It's the only thing I can think of. You know how Aang went to talk to the man of many faces or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And he couldn't show any expression.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that. Like where like she
Got
has
it.
to like maintain something or not do something in the presence of this like creature or whatever and keep something straight. And then
You could very well be right because I don't remember.
am I right?
Not really.
Yeah. I just think that I was like, that would be a better way to info dump than just spending an entire chapter.
No, Sarah's very info dumpy.
I was like, wow, that is a very.
I don't think
very...
she does it in Throne of Glass. She might have. It's been a very long time since I've read it, but she does do it in Crescent City, and she does it via hologram. And it's just this old woman who's like, long ago, when the foreign nations.
No.
2 chapters,
and it's like they're long chapters too, and like she doesn't shut up. She just keeps on going.
Sarah.
But in Throne of Glass, like what I liked so much about it was that she just kind of was just like figure it out. She just like started.
Well,
talking
that's
about
what you're
stuff,
supposed to
and
do
you
in
just have to figure it
fantasy.
out.
You're supposed to just figure it out.
I mean, she
Or-
could have info dumped. I can't remember.
But like the thing is, like in fantasy, you're supposed to like be really confused, and then as you explore the world, you learn things naturally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, you tried to kill a dragon. Unfortunately, you can't like snap the head off of a dragon. They grow back like a hydra.
Yeah.
Like now you know.
Yeah.
So like
Now we know.
Now we know, and then you have
And
a
they're
whole plot.
from this different area over here, but not this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's I don't know.
The only info dump that I can think of other than that is like Rebecca Yarros in Fourth Wing. I didn't
No.
mind that.
No, I did.
Really,
I had personal beef. I have personal beef with Rebecca Yarros, first of all, and I hate Fourth Wing, second of all. But third of all, I hated. Sorry, I'm sorry. I hated the way they did the info dump because it was like she recites things when she's nervous, but she happens to do it in the third person of her own country, as if she. Because it's like America won the something or whatever, and it feels very like really because she doesn't say. It's like saying us, America, decided to enter World War II after point blank.
Yeah.
And you're like, why did you have to say us, America? Just say America because it's very obvious. But like, if you're saying us, America, it's very obvious that it's making it for the reader, for the purpose of the reader to be made aware of the fact that I am from America, which.
I didn't mind it because it just felt like she was like when you read flashcards, like she was just reciting the things that she remembered. But that's the only other info dump that like I can think of in a fantasy book like that. Because Sarah literally she dumps so much. I love you, Sarah, but oh my god, questionable decisions.
I will say that this one annoyed me more than the Fourth Wing one.
Mm-hmm. Fourth Wing one's broken up.
Because the Fourth Wing one was broken up. And I was like, I mean, at least you weren't happening for an entire chapter.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, whatever, like.
No, because literally nothing happens in that chapter except Alice just.
And the thing is like, I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind the way it's written. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, the actual, like, prose of it all is not bad. It's just,
it's
when you
odd.
think of it, you're like, well, it's like me coming in and I'm like, Haley, did I tell you about the history of my family? Let me sit you down
and walk through the family tree.
And tell you about my family tree. And so this is why you have to come with me. You have to drive me to Miami to figure out my family stuff. And then you're like, okay, yeah, let's go.
Like, you could have told me on the drive.
You could have told me on the drive. I was like, you know,
they literally walk through the woods. She could have told her in the walk in the woods. I mean, I know she has spies everywhere. She probably couldn't have. But like, ugh.
Oh, and one more thing. Alice was talking about that she said there is one more part of the curse that she cannot disclose to
and it's
this
gonna
day.
be when Tamlin's evil. It's gonna be the Tamlin. What's her name? Tamlin. It's gonna be the reveal that Tamlin's evil.
I'm gonna tell you again, Tamlin is not evil.
I'm not gonna believe
he's
you guys.
in fact not a serpent.
I feel like my definition of evil is gonna be so different definition from your evil.
He does not turn into a scary wizard.
I don't like him.
Destroy everyone.
He doesn't try to take over Perithian.
I don't think he would.
Other bitches do that.
Yeah, that's someone else's job.
I don't think he would.
He just kind of frolics.
He annoys me. He's blonde and he annoys me. Tori's face. He's blonde and he annoys me, and then Rhysand's a dick and he annoys me too.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot better. Yeah, we were having this conversation earlier, and I'm going to talk about it later, but there's stuff that happens under the mountain that people, like, they forget about it. Like, it's not told in the book. Sarah just says, things happened, and I don't know what. And everyone has, like, very, like, wildly different takes on what they think happened, and mine is very, very stupid, and I'm not going to say it because it's a spoiler.
When you say, like, things happen, like in the books,
the book.
Like, Farrah would say something like, horrible things happens in the mountain.
She goes, horrible things happen under the mountain. I can't remember them, so it's fine. You'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Everyone has different opinions on
that. Never comes back.
And then, like, they'll start, like, accusing characters of doing things. And I'm like, that wasn't
That's it's really weird. Because what I thought was happening, it was much different than what everyone else thought was happening.
A really dark turn.
What?
Did people take the dark turns?
Yeah. I thought, like, she was just
any single time that
having a grand old time.
Any single time, like, an author leaves something really bad happening for interpretation, people's minds go anywhere.
Especially with this.
And I'm like, why are you doing... I mean, to an extent, I understand why. It's the author being like, horrible things happened. I don't want to talk about them. They're not really that important to the overall story, aside from the fact that the mountain happened. But, like, that just means that people are gonna run with it. Like,
run with it.
You're telling me you don't remember? It's because it's so traumatic that you blocked it out. I'm gonna say that it's because this motherfucker did something to this person, and yada yada. And we're like, hold on, this was never confirmed.
This was not in the article.
And this is when citations, please, in the MLA format. And this is when headcanons go insane, and that's when like it takes off.
Yeah.
That's what happens with this.
And that's how
I don't think there's much else that happens in this section. The outro is just a fucking weirdo.
These like setup chapters were a little bit odd.
Oh, she like gave Farrah gave her name.
Oh yeah, Farrah gave her name, which you know. Oh, I think it's really funny. I don't know why this stuck with me when she's leaving the house and she talks to Nesta and she's like, everything I told you is true, and she's like, they can lie, and iron doesn't work. I'm like. Because, like, yeah, that's what they say, like, traditionally iron, like, hurts the fae and, like, they can't lie. But it's just so funny to me that they can lie.
There's a description of that they gave of Nesta that I enjoyed, where it was, like, I think she was talking about how, like, after their mother died or whatever, and how, like, Nesta's, like, attitude had changed or something, and how, like, the bitterness covered up, like, a lot of familial affection and a lot of, like, familial, like, things that she assigned to, like, her father, and when her father didn't step up, she got mad or whatever.
Yeah.
And even more bitter about it. And she got even more bitter about it when Farrah stepped up, and she refused to engage. But I thought that was a nice description of that stuff. I was like, oh, that's... at least you're aware. Like, it's not like,
She's fully self-aware.
like, she's like, I'm glad that you're aware of the fact. Well, not only Nessa, then Nessa was aware, because I'm glad she's aware, because, girl,
She needs to be.
she's the problem, but it's okay. We love her.
She's the problem.
It's the problem, it's her. But, I don't know, I just like that moment between them two. That was nice.
But yeah.
Oh, and this Lucian getting his eyeball plucked out by Amarantha.
Okay, I actually, like, that was gross.
I forgot that happened also. I thought his dad did it for some reason. I don't know why.
I also thought that.
I also thought that.
Yeah.
That was my theory. I was like, oh, okay, this works too.
I thought his dad did it. And then I saw this fan art, which I have posted. Well, it'll be posted when this is posted, but of her digging his eyeball out. And I was like, what? And then I moved on with my life. And then I read the chapters and I was like, oh my God.
I love how you said that as soon as I took a sip of tea.
She just gouges his fucking eye. Because he goes up to her and he's like, you're scum and you suck. And she's like, I want to take your eye. That's pretty. Pretty color. I want it. And then he's like, I'm just glad she didn't put me in a ring. He's crazy.
I love him.
He's such a funny little dude. And yeah. 36 minutes. We did it.
Woohoo!
We kind of slayed.
So next time we'll be finishing the book.
We will be.
Oh, really?
So yeah, very exciting. Lots of stuff is gonna happen. I don't think you're ready for it.
Tammy's gonna turn evil. That'll be great.
You're wrong. You're incorrect.
Yep. Tamlin is going to cut Ferris' head off.
That is my theory.
Stab her right through the chest.
Oh my goodness. But yeah.
Poison her with Thorn of Rose.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
She figured it out. That's what the title means.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Follow us on our Instagram and our TikTok and our everything else. And please, yeah.
But yeah.
Love you, Pookies.
So much.